2021 stranger crabs. It's not every week that we get to see these crabs. When we do, we gotta talk about them. Captain TikTok, it's no surprise, he can bring me a couple strange crabs. We've got up first the zombie crab, right here.
These are the ones crabbers gotta eat. You can't afford to eat the whole crab. Gotta eat these ones here.
He's got all of his lungs exposed. Did you ever want to know how they breathe? Watch these crabs breathe, how they take in oxygen, how all their face parts move. It's pretty amazing to see when that's exposed.
If he was a human, he'd be a lifetime crab boat worker, this guy here.
Crab here with a big hole in it. Another crab, we've had a couple of these crabs. Some of them got holes in the tops of them. Some of them got holes in their face. I don't even know how they get holes in them, but they're not always see-through, but just beat up. Something pinched them, something bit them. Who knows? The whole side of her pinched off. I don't know if a sea turtle got her or what. Something took all her legs and a chunk out of the side of her, and she was still going. A lot of times when we start seeing crabs like this, missing a lot of legs, they're some of the last crabs we see, especially in the fall. They're some of the last ones. We know it's time to start moving south, pushing further down, because those crabs are the last ones to come out, and there probably won't be much behind them. We've seen lots of these over the years, the devil crabs. Their points rise up. A lot of times I see these in my tanks. Electricity goes out, my tanks aren't running, and the oxygen gets low in those tanks. I'll get a couple of these devil crabs to come out. It must have something to do with how the oxygen helps them to come out of their shells better. Yeah, this is definitely one of the highlights of the year right here. This crab with that split claw like that, that's super rare. How that one works, it's super rare to see them split ones like that. I don't see many of them at all. These crabs, I would assume, have to be born, have some genetic abnormality. It doesn't appear to be part of the claw. If the other piece wasn't there and it was just twisted and grew crooked, then maybe it busted and then healed and then grew, but it's got two that are actually true claws, so it's got to be just a genetic abnormality. Here, this one he got his leg hung up underneath of his shell when it was soft, and then when he hardened up, his leg is actually sticking out through his face, so it looks like almost like it's growing out of his face, but it's not. It's just because when it was soft, it got twisted underneath. And I've shed a few crabs that kind of got hung up or twisted a little bit and turned the leg up underneath. We were crabbing around the sewer plant today, and you just never know what you're gonna see. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite crabs of the year here, with the double claw on it. It had a regular claw and then it had another claw on the top of it. Definitely super rare, see very few of them. This crab was in the process of shedding and actually died. It would have been neat to shed this crab and then to have that claw, the shed claw with the soft crab next to it would have been cool, but he didn't make it. He died as a buster. Now that's a cool one right there. That's a pure 100% looking albino. This is actually a Lucistic Crab. So he's not full true albino because his eyes aren't pink, and he's got a little tiny bit of color in him, but the color is so, I would imagine they would call this in the lobsters the cotton candy crab, but he's super light. Just an amazing crab. Definitely my favorite crab of the year. Awesome. That's amazing. That's a once in a career crab there. And sadly, eaten by a raccoon. More to come on that one. Let us know what your favorite stranger crab was in the comments. Who knows what 2022 is going to hold. Every year I see a crab I've never seen before, and hoping for some cool crabs this year. Now that's a cool point there. Cool claw. Ain't seen too many eyeballs lately. Had a crab a little crazy claw today. Pretty cool claw there today. Pretty funky looking. Still works alright too, huh? That's pretty neat. Had a little white claw today too, nothing too fancy. Still works and all. Just bends that way. We're scratching his back. You can see his claw works completely fine. He can still pinch, but it's pointed down really sharply.